What is up, everybody? It's me, it's Dean, and I'm back. Look, I don't remember what I've shown, but we're doing an update video, and we should sleep. But as you can see, a lot has been done, and yet I have not been on here in a little while. So let's take a look at all this, and then I'm gonna ramble on about a lot of stuff. I actually have a sticky note thing set up with talking points. But the stand's pretty much done. There is some tidying up I have to do. Oh, that's surprisingly almost symmetrical. What is not symmetrical are the stands themselves. You can see this corner is kind of wonky looking, and this one's even worse. This one actually curves outwards. But I'm not changing it because all three of these are are shaped differently. And yeah, lining them up would be horrible because I would have to basically tear everything up and redo it, because as you can see, this goes up 7, I think, and then 5, and then 7 again, I think. So, and like realigning all this would mean either digging out everything behind it or filling in everything behind it, because this is all just right up against the earth. But I am satisfied with it. This part here, I'm currently working on making a building. I'm just basically tearing all this down, and I'm gonna make some sort of suite / press box kind of area. This all out here, I've carved out where the track is gonna be. Coming along here, curving that way. So I think from above it should kind of look a bit like a I don't know what it's going to look like. I was going to say like a triangle. Maybe like a little weird D pattern or something. It's kind of triangular. You go straight down this way, turn this way, and then you kind of go up diagonally that way a little bit. And of course in the middle, I have expanded the island. The sand part that's fenced in is the original land, and then I filled in all of this. So, but yeah, the current project is that, and then of course the ice itself. I had to do something here, I think. Maybe, because I don't know. I don't think people would want to, like, the sea is not exactly the best in the house, you know. But I'll figure something out. Maybe I'll smooth that down somehow, or maybe I'll leave it. One thing I kind of want to do is build a dome up and over this. So I'm considering doing that. But yeah, still quietly working on it. But like I said, I haven't been on in a few weeks. So it's been kind of quiet over here. Here we go. Do that. Toss this in here. Okay, let's just dig out some of this. Funny thing about the beacon is that I've been doing all of this digging out all around here and stuff, and this is the only time I put a beacon up, was for this little section. There's a spawner in that little cave, so I left it. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but interesting. Is this oh, it's efficiency 4, that's why. Okay. That makes sense. So, yeah, how have things been? Uh, they've been pretty decent. Um, I'll start by talking about work. Um, Work was busy, as you would expect for the holiday season. Um, Doing Amazon delivery, and it was the peak holiday season. Um, yeah, I was working 5-day work weeks, 10-hour shifts each day. That's 10 hours plus, because you clock in like 10:45 or so, and you don't hit the road until 12:30. You're basically delivering till about 9 p.m. And then you might have to go help someone else out, which adds another half hour or so. And you have to be done, like, I think Amazon has a cutoff time of like 10:30. I forget. But, yeah, had some long days. There was one in particular where I had over 190 stops. And that wasn't even the most that day, but it was a really crazy route. Most of the time my route is like I delivered to a bunch of middle and upper class houses in one of the neighboring cities here. And going house to house is really easy, especially if you're just, staying in the same neighborhoods. You can get a lot done in a short amount of time. But this route had, like, about 100 of my 190-something stops was in town. And then I had, like, 40 stops that were, like, houses in the middle of nowhere. They're not farmhouses, but they're not in town at all either. They're just like random homes in the woods, and they're all kind of varying levels of richness, I guess. Like some higher end stuff, some lower end stuff. Like sometimes you'll go down this super long driveway and show up at this like mansion in the middle of the woods, and then there's other times where you're like going down this like short driveway off the side of the highway to some trailer. And then after that I had like 2 other neighborhoods on the outside of town. And those the stuff in the middle where you're kind of in the middle of nowhere, that kills a lot of time because there's a lot of drive time in between. So and what makes things worse is normally we, yeah, I figured it was loud. Normally we have all of our packages split into different, like, tote bags. And, each one normally corresponds to a neighborhood or part of the neighborhood. And usually, keyword usually, you work out of one of them at a time. So you can, like, empty one tote, deliver all of the packages, and then empty the next one, rinse and repeat. But, for my delivery route that day, I also started with apartments, which is a big time killer too. But I skipped the country stuff, the more rural part of the route. I went straight to the other neighborhoods because I was already pretty far behind by the time I finished the neighborhood. And you can work out of order if you want to, if you feel like it'll help. It's preferred that you don't, but you can. So I tried it because I was already behind, and I started with the second of the 2 neighborhoods, and it was fine. And then the first neighborhood had me working out of 4 separate totes at the same time. So I had one already emptied and sorted in the passenger area next to me on the passenger seat and around it. And then I go to a stop and it's like, you have a package from that first tote and you also have a package from this other tote. And oh, by the way, you have a package from this other tote, and they're all going to the same house. You know, they're not organized into the correct places. So, luckily I had a van that had shelves in the back, and I just started sorting everything onto the shelves. But my van, like, by like 8 or 9 p.m., my van was still like half full. It didn't look very empty at all. And I got rescued twice, which is when a coworker comes by to take some of your route off you. Actually, I only got rescued once. The first guy found me no problem, and then the other guy wanted to meet me at a different spot. Basically, when you go to rescue somebody, you get sent an address, and you can go to that address and meet up with the person that you're supposed to rescue. However, if they're not quite there yet, or if you're like me and doing things completely out of order, it's good to get in contact with the person you're rescuing to arrange a better meetup spot. And we did that. He called me and I said, I'm going to be in a different spot, let me text you my address. And so I did, and then a few minutes later, he calls and says, I'm at the original address that I was given, where are you? And then he got upset that I wasn't there and didn't know when I was going to be there. And so I hung up on him, and he never came to rescue me. So yeah, that was a rough night. I didn't get done until like 10:30, and didn't get home until like 11:30. And then I was in bed by midnight, so... And then, luckily I had the next couple days off, but yeah. That was the worst part of peak. Most of it was like, it's really busy, but not too bad. You know, just got a lot of packages to deliver, a lot of stops to go through. There was one day where deliveries got canceled because we had an ice storm. So it's just ice all over the roads. And, that day started out as an optional day. So you could come in and do like a small route if you wanted to. So I was the only one that showed up from my group. And they ended up saying, actually, we're not going to do that. And so not only did I get some free hours, my manager sent me $50 on Cash App. And the warehouse allowed me to pick a couple like special prizes that they have. They just have like a cabinet with some, I guess, Amazon-owned products. So I took home an Xbox controller and a like water bottle type deal. A thermos, that's the word I was looking for. So, the thermos I'm probably never going to use, but the Xbox controller is actually really good because I can play Steam games with it. So, I was playing some NASCAR and WWE and stuff. So, that's cool. Like it a lot better than the Steam controller. But yeah, that was work. So, now that... Oh, there's another story to go with that stuff, but the peak season is over, and business is going to get really slow coming up. But Christmas Eve, last day of the peak season, I show up, I clock in, I get my route. It's a pretty decent route. However, we're supposed to have like sweepers go through, and sweepers are basically, their entire job is to go from person to person, take some of their route off their hands, and deliver it for them. However, for me, I leave the station to go start my route, and the very first traffic light I come up to, I run the red light, and I completely spaced out. My van was at half a tank, and I was like, is that enough to, should I get gas, or is that enough to do my route? And I decided, yeah, that should be enough, and then I look up, light's red, and I go, yeah, oops, but I couldn't stop. It was a little too late to stop. That is a big no-no, especially when you're, when you have a camera in the van. So, I got what's called a major hit, in which, once the whole thing processes, which it took about half an hour to process, so I got to my route, by the time it went through, my route completely shut down, and I was notified to pull over and contact my dispatchers, who were already aware of the hit because they get sent the information as well. So I get a call from my dispatcher about it, and he's like, don't worry about it, I'm coming by to, I guess, take your route off your hands. And then as soon as he hung up, the boss called, and he wanted to know what had happened, and I explained it to him. He's like, okay, it was just a mistake then, okay. So basically what happens there is you're not allowed to do any more delivery routes until you complete this series of safety videos, which I did over the Christmas break that I had. We had Christmas Day off and the 26th off, and then I also had the day after that off, just as part of the schedule. I would have also had Saturday off, but I ended up picking up that day. And then I ended up not working that day because I had to do the training. We had some issues getting the training going because we thought it was on one program, but Amazon has since updated how they do things, and we were eventually able to get it done. But we thought we were supposed to go to the same learning portal that I did my onboarding training on, but turns out no, it's in the delivery app itself now. So I could have been working that Saturday if I had figured that out sooner, but none of us had remembered that change had happened. So, but it's all good. I'm back delivering again, and I did come into work a couple times just to check in, and was able to get a couple hours out of those days. So, but yeah, no more running red lights for me. So yeah, that's job updates. Like I said, we're getting into the slow season. Apparently January, February is wicked slow. And it's going to stay relatively slow all the way up until June or July. July is when Amazon Prime Week hits, so that's going to be a busy day, or busy week or so. And then I guess it stays relatively busy all the way into the end of the year. But yeah. Other life stuff. Not really much going on outside of work. Yeah, I haven't had much time during the month of December. My days off have been spent doing a whole lot of nothing, and also doing classwork. That was the most challenging part of the month, was balancing the busy work schedule and my online classes. And I'm on my final class, speaking of, in which I finished my final thesis. My final thesis, which I started in the previous class, is to do a feature-length movie script. And, yeah, I was struggling trying to balance doing that and work. So, yeah, that was probably... I didn't do too well in that class. I managed a C in that class, which was only because my final 2 assignments kind of bumped me up to a C, because for the last class I had to do Act 1 of my screenplay, and for the most part it was good, according to the instructor, but I forgot a crucial part of it, which is to include annotations, where I guess you link to stuff that you use to research for your screenplay, which I didn't do because I completely forgot that was something you were supposed to do. So I lost a lot of points for that. But my final 2 assignments bumped me back up to a C. So I think that's still good enough to graduate with. I think I saw that there was some changes to how they were handling that stuff, grade-wise, but hopefully that is grandfathered in. I don't know. I don't know the details of it, but I do have one more class left, which is to finish my screenplay, do Act 2 and Act 3. So, with the slower work schedule, it shouldn't be too difficult to pull off. I'm back to having 3 days off now, so that will help a lot. But yeah, besides that, not much has been going on. We're caught up at 20 minutes. I'm just gonna make this a longer video because I do have a lot to talk about. Out here. Let me see. Check the sticky note. Yeah, let's talk about the road ahead, shall we? So yeah, it's the new year. I'm also 32 years old now. My birthday was December 1st, and played Disasters. Probably saw some of that stuff go up over the month. But yeah, the road ahead. So for this month, gonna be pretty busy, and it kind of sucks because apparently the guys on the server are setting up a new thing called Overwhirled, but it's like Overwhirled, like that. And basically it's kind of like vanilla server with more a few restrictions that kind of will hopefully I was gonna say focus. It'll hopefully grant or allow people to kind of interact with each other more. It's kind of the main issue that we've had with this kind of stuff is not much interaction between each other, I guess. I'm not as informed on it, so don't quote me on that. But yeah, it's got a few changes that is supposed to like spice up the vanilla style of things, and unfortunately, I likely will not be involved much, if at all, because I am going to be busy the entire time it's open. One of the limitations to it is that the server is only going to be open for an extended weekend, which is Friday through Monday. But this week, they're starting it up on Saturday. And I've picked up a Saturday, both this Saturday and next week. This week and next week, I'm working Saturdays. I'm not supposed to, but they keep asking me. So, I'm sure that'll go away once things get slower and they don't need me as much. But I've been saying yes because of the other thing that's getting in the way, which is my vacation in mid-January, where I'm going to go to a furry convention in Boston. Yeah, that's going to take up another weekend. So really, the only day that I would be available to play in the first 3 weeks of January is Friday the 10th. I'm not sure if I will, because I guess it would all depend on how active things are. You know, maybe I'll pop on during that day, maybe not. But yeah, that's the only day that I would be available during the first 3 weeks of the event. And, like, the first week or so is kind of the most important part of all of this. That's when the novelty is at its highest. So, when the novelty wears off, you know, who will still be there? You know? So, would it be worth showing up for that one day and then going away for an entire week? You know? You know, will it still be up when I come back from the convention? Who knows? But I don't know. I'll keep an eye on it. Right now I'm kind of leaning towards not bothering with it because of not being able to attend, which is kind of a shame because I'm a huge supporter of doing anything with anyone else on the server. So, but as per usual, my schedule is complicated, even though it's not supposed to be. Like, I'm supposed to only work Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, but I keep adding on Saturdays. And if the convention trip wasn't a thing, then I would not have picked up these Saturdays, but I just want to make sure that I will be able to attend and pay for everything. Right now I have most of the money I need for the hotel that I'm staying at, which is the last thing that I need to pay for. Well, that and maybe luggage. I have to pay for checked bags, but I might try to squeeze everything into a smaller bag that I can just put under my seat, if they'll let me. Yeah, because of that, I had the money saved up, but then, of course, rent's due, so I had to prioritize that, and now rent's taken care of, but now I gotta save up the rest of that hotel money, so, which luckily I don't have to save up too much, and this job pays really well, so it shouldn't be a problem as long as I, you know, don't run red lights and stuff. So, as long as I don't, and I guess if weather permits, like today it snowed, and we're expecting a pretty big snowstorm, I think on Sunday, so as long as I don't lose too many days of work over the next couple weeks, actually this week in particular is the most crucial, because I would get that paycheck on the 8th or so. So yeah, we gotta make sure that we maximize our usage. The good news is that I do have I believe my last student loan refund coming in while I'm at the convention, like that Friday. So I'm not too concerned about rent and bills for this month because of that. And also I put in paid time off. So, like, you know, even if I'm not going to be there, and even if even if the weather shuts things down for the days that I would normally work, like, I would still get paid for those days because I put in paid time off for those days. So, So yeah, it should be perfectly fine. So that's the plan for January. Finishing my degree. Like I said, I have one more class. I think it runs through the end of March or something. And then I graduate in May. Assuming that the grading structure hasn't changed. Like I said, I think they said that like C's count as fails or something like that. If that's the case, then I think you can only have like 2 C's in a class, like as a final grade. So I think I have 2 classes with a C. So if that's the case, that'll be annoying. But we'll deal with that when it happens, if it happens. But yeah, that ends in May. The thing I'm most disappointed about out of that is like I haven't really learned much in terms of how I'm supposed to market my screenplay to, studios. I think they're gonna squeeze that into the very final week of class for this course, which hopefully there's useful information there. Because if not, then I don't know how to do the most important part of all of this. So, yeah, that's another thing we'll have to figure out down the line. Also coming up, I might try to take off an entire month from work with paid time off. If I'm allowed to, if I'm able to. I want to go storm chasing in April. Just take the entire month off to do that. Not sure how it's gonna work. Obviously I have to look into paying for gas and hotels and stuff like that. But I've been thinking about it because that time of year is gonna be coming up pretty soon, and yeah, I loved doing it last spring. So I would love to do it again this spring. This time not having to, work around work. So yeah, those are the immediate plans. We'll see if I end up doing that. It's a thought right now. Other plans. Pretty much the usual stuff. Otherwise, try to build savings, try to pay off debts, try to maybe move. My lease is up in October. So when that happens, I have no idea what's gonna happen. I have no plans. Do I stay here? Does Hollywood call me? Maybe, hopefully. Or do I just kind of move somewhere else, Do I move further west? Do I move back east? Haven't decided. Who knows? But, stuff I'm looking into. Now for the biggest part. Looking into stuff like channel-wise. And just general mentality stuff. So, good news is that, I've been feeling pretty good mentally this year. Especially starting to, work at Amazon. I think, honestly, I've lost 20 pounds. And I think that has been a big help. Generally feeling healthier. In a weird way, I'm kind of eating healthier too, because I don't have time to cook. It sounds counterintuitive at first, but I don't have time to cook, after work, especially during peak season. So I've been getting, I started doing factory meals again, and then I switched to Cook Unity. Cook Unity has a larger selection of meals, although I kind of like the taste of factory meals better. But those are healthy foods, and I can just pop them in the microwave if I want to. So it's like good stuff, you know, eating healthier. And with how active Amazon delivery is, it's a surprising workout, especially when you go right into peak season. Yeah, I've lost 20 pounds. So I was at 308 pounds at my peak, and now I'm down to 288. So, and I think that's helped with my mental health, which I've heard that about stuff, and I was never too upset about being a bigger guy. I kind of like being a bigger guy. What I don't like is, you know, being tired and having heartburn a lot, which, you know, eating healthier kind of helps with that. Who knew? You know? So, so that's good. I'm hoping to keep that up. I don't know if I'm ready to jump into hitting the gym per se, or doing actual workouts. I'm still pretty lazy, and I'll get to that. But like I said, Amazon is surprisingly a surprisingly good workout, because like not only is there a lot of walking involved, just delivering packages, but you're carrying pretty heavy packages too, and not only are you carrying them to their door, to the customer's door, but you're also you're loading them into your van. And like during loadout, I get this stair step workout in while also lifting heavy things. So getting an arm workout and a stair workout at the same time, because I gotta pick up each tote and bring it into the van. And then every oversized box I gotta bring into the van as well, and those are usually pretty heavy. So yeah, there's a lot of lifting and pulling things and pushing things and and stepping up and stepping down. And when you deliver to some of these houses, and especially apartments, you're getting your stair workouts going, and you're climbing in and out of the driver's seat of the van, you know, and that's all on top of, you know, walking to someone's door. So yeah, you lose some weight. And during my work days, I don't really eat all that much. Every morning I cook this, I buy these bags of potatoes O'Brien. It's just potatoes, onions, and peppers. They're cubed potatoes, kind of in a, yeah. And yeah, just toss them in a pan with a little bit of oil, cook them up, eat them for breakfast, and that usually gets me going. I usually have a yogurt as well with that. And then throughout the day, I mainly just, I'll stop by a gas station and I'll get myself a large thing of vitamin water or lemonade, and then a couple slices of pizza, which that's not too healthy, but it's also not a lot of food. So the rest of the day I'm working off of, yeah, I'm just as confused as you are. Where are your friends? You have nothing I want. Thank you. Yeah, I work off of that stuff all day, so I'm burning that little bit of energy, and then whatever remains, I guess, starts burning fat. So, and I'm building leg muscles and arm muscles that I haven't used since the days that I was in Army basic training. Remember I was in Army basic training? Anybody remember that? That was 12, 13 years ago. Crazy. That was kind of rambly, but my point of all that is I want to try to be more focused and work on my motivation off of work. Because when I'm not working, kind of not doing things. And I kind of noticed that I'm kind of still like latching on to old things, I guess, in the way I do things. Making these low effort videos, spending my days basically watching YouTube. That's like pretty much all I do. Just sit in front of the computer, watch YouTube, and then at the end of the night, I might get some classwork done before work. You know, so I'm not scrambling after work. And I kind of want to change that. I feel like I need to kind of maybe not shift my focus away from this completely, but I definitely need to do less sitting around doing nothing. There's been a lot of times where I've wanted to do a thing, but I'm like, but I have this video I want to watch, and then that becomes another video, and now the hockey game's on, and yeah, the motivation kind of just comes and goes. Because, oops, oh, you're there now. And I do nothing with it. And I need to fix that. So, if there is one New Year's resolution that I would do, it'd probably be something centered around that, being more properly motivated to work and get stuff done. Oh, there they are. I'll deal with them in a minute. What was I getting to? On that note, I've started downloading all of my old AceTheMech videos. I have recently downloaded basically every non-JFS episode type video. I will be downloading the JFS episodes as well, but I want to focus on the other stuff first. Very cool. Let's do this correctly. Thank you. But yeah, I want to download all that stuff, which I have, and I'm going to download the JFS videos as well. And then what I'd like to do is kind of pick through them during my off days and kind of compile together highlights. I've talked about stuff like this before, but yeah, just work on like making a highlights video, or at the very least finding said highlights and combining them together to make a more interesting video, I guess, with some actual editing, even if that editing is just stitching things together in a cohesive manner. But it could be that, it could just be shorts, maybe I'll make a meme, I don't know. Just kind of pick through stuff like that and bring that stuff onto this channel. Because all that stuff is still on my old channel. It's just unlisted. And of course, my old channel is now geared around storm chasing, so the content doesn't fit on there anymore. So the plan is, yeah, to download everything, pick through it, grab some of the highlights from each video, and either make a short out of it, maybe make a meme, or at the very least compile them together to make, you know, a handful of more interesting videos, I guess, and port them over to here. And then once I guess as I do that, those older videos will start to disappear from the old channel, and they're upload format. I'm pretty sure I'm going to keep all of the original videos just for, you know, record keeping and posterity. In the off chance that somebody wants to see my, like, my Equilibrium server episodes or something like that. But I do kind of want to clean up that channel a bit, and I also want to focus on making more content that has more editing, because I've been talking about that for a while, wanting to do more editing focused projects, and I've already kind of uploaded some of that stuff. The most recent disasters videos was me trying, you know, working on editing. The Dale and Dawson videos were more editing, you know, more heavily edited than they used to be with, like, my old content. You know, it's not like this stuff where I just do a one take, you know, low effort thing and just ramble on. So I kind of want to do less rambly stuff and focus more on that. That probably means I won't do much videos. Won't do many more videos on here, at least in this style, or anywhere near as often, if at all. I suppose I will have to keep this updated though, but yeah, I don't think I'll ever completely leave making videos. But I don't, you know, despite the many times I've said I'm done, I don't think I'll ever completely leave it, but I do kind of want to put a little bit more effort into the videos themselves. Something I've pretty much never done, except for, like, very brief moments. So yeah, that's the main stuff I want to do, is be more focused, you know, focus on stuff that I want to do, be more motivated to work on stuff that I want to do. And part of that is going through all those videos. And they're probably going to come out, like, a little bit at a time. I don't expect things to be released, like, every week or anything like that. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But, yeah, that's the plan. Because I can't be, you know, doing the same stuff that I've been doing since I was, you know, 20 years old or whatever. I gotta be more adulty than I've been. And I guess I gotta figure out where I want to focus my efforts into. I'm just gonna take care of all this coal, fill in this stuff, and we'll call it an episode. It's almost 50 minutes, so I'm gonna upload it all in one take. So it can be kind of podcasty, because I'm not really doing anything important. Alright. Yep, that'll do. I only have one more level on here before I'm done digging this out, but it's just gonna be another level of the same stuff. Oh yeah, let's kill these guys. Yeah, that'll do for this video. I'll probably make more. Like, I don't think this will be the end of low effort videos. It'll just be like, it's only gonna be in this, like, update format. Like, maybe I'll just use the JFS to do update videos, even though I initially wanted to avoid them. Maybe instead I'll just upload JFS videos less often, but in a more update type style or something. We'll see how it goes. But that should do for this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching or listening, and I shall see you all in the next one.